film is intended for mature audiences and contains adult content, graphic language, graphic violence, nudity, and strong sexual content. Viewer discretion is advised. Like, we'll leave it up to you, but you gotta know about this stuff before getting into this whole thing, you know? I mean, straight up, one guy gets his face bitten off by a raccoon, and we show it. Oh man, do we show it. Real big close-up. And we spoke to a scientist to make sure it was, you know, physically correct and whatever. We said, hey, scientist guy, like, how much damage could a raccoon realistically do? And he told us a lot.
Rifles Part 2 starts right now.
I know, like, especially with myself and some other people I know that went through the same type of stuff. Did you find something to fill that time, that urge that you have to be doing something? I know a lot of guys, I feel like, well, someone do pick up smoking, which I don't feel like was any better for necessarily because it has something to do with the hands. But, I mean, some guys do, like, fantasy football, other guys do, you know, they get into a sport, get in the gym, or, you know, start researching random shit. I mean, what was it for you?
Yeah, I got really into fantasy football. I got really into it. Started my own league. I'm in 6 leagues now. I'm in one dynasty, a couple of PPRs. I got some standards going on. So, like, all my time, like, sports, especially in Chicago, like, I'm a Cubs fan, but I'm not really, like, a baseball fan. Like, football, to me, is just, I don't know, that was all, I probably listened today alone to about 2 hours worth of fantasy football. Like, I'll play Sky Warriors and just have fantasy football, and I'm so, like,
and now you
hyped about it.
You could also pop in your ear, you know, with the Cool-Kegs on tap podcast, too.
Oh, yeah, but I already listen to it yet, so, but, like, I'm so psychotic about it.
Wait, time.
What?
You've listened to everything already.
Whatever you guys have on
like, that's been released. You listened to all of it already?
Yeah, well,
cool. Is that everything? Yeah, that's the entire catalog.
Yeah, I went through all. I mean,
you got like 8 hours worth of shit.
No, that's nothing. You don't understand how much I listen to fantasy football.
Well, let me shout out. Apparently, I don't. Let me shout out the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, and we're bringing home another Super Bowl. But beyond that, like, so how addicted? Like, are we talking movie-wise?
What? Well, I mean, I just got into. So I got. About 2 hours a day at least. And I do not share my websites with anybody I know. And like, I'm in some pretty big leagues, and you know, everyone has their secret paid leagues or websites. Like, I will never tell where I get my info from, and because I'm pretty decent. I only won 2 leagues, but out of 6, that was a lot of money. Like, one of my leagues is, I don't put that much money into it, I just put in a lot of time. Like, my most expensive league is only $300.
So let's be honest, you've got a direct link to Skip Bayless, and no, that's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. I don't even know who that is, so he does.
You don't need to know. Yeah, no, you don't need to know Skip Bayless. It's like right now everyone's wondering where the hell is Dalvin Cook gonna go. Like, there's no, and everyone that's a Patriots has Stevenson is hoping that he doesn't go to the Patriots. You know what I mean? Like, it's little shit like that. Like, I'm on Dalvin Cook watch right now, and found out Jacobs right now is holding out on practices. So it's like I'm all in. Like, if there's elbow out there, I got it.
Do you make money off of fantasy football?
I have made out decent every year. Last year, I probably came out on top around $1,200, so it's not like a lot.
But that's
like, I'm not a
still
gambler.
You're still
I'm more
up.
it's
Huh? You're still
yeah,
up.
I mean, it's not. Yeah, it's more of just the fantasy football, and then there's like this huge depression when it's gone. So when fantasy football ended, I was big on Sky Warriors because I had nothing to fucking do.
So basically, you're just transferring energy to positive.
Pretty much.
There you go.
Was that your almost 300?
Say it again, Casey. You're breaking up.
Was that like your? Wasn't that the forum? You've been like almost 300K.
Was that the more that you put up, like almost 300K? He said.
Oh no, I don't put 300K. My top has.
What are you doing? I'm saying NFT number.
My what? My
I
highest.
remember you doing some insane number. Yeah.
No, most of my numbers, if I was going crazy, it's usually around 200K. I don't do anything more than 200K. Like when I did
I don't do anything more than
KSA
200K.
one.
Oh my god. No, it's just I'm laughing at your numbers because they're so big. They really are.
Well, like that was just like the one with the KSA, and when we were going, I mean, just imagine when we were doing, like I did 157 before doubles came out, and that was a lot, before doubles. Like that was a all-out war. Like when we were doing 100K before doubles came out, like you're literally on it, and when we were playing that, it was like deathmatch was brand new. We only had like 3 missiles. Like it was a lot tougher. So like this, like I usually just post a double and I'll put up 40K. I probably do 40K in maybe 2 hours and I'll be done. And I just play some Call of Duty or something or listen to fantasy football. Like this, now with the kids, it's nonstop with softball. That's this whole like.
Well, talk about your family a little bit. Yeah, talk about your family a little bit. You seem like you're proud, like you should be, but talk about them a little bit.
All right, so I have 3 kids. My oldest is, they're turning 17, 15, and 13. And so my son he's on the spectrum, but he was, they call it Asperger's before they stopped calling it Asperger's. So he's actually really smart with math, and he's in his own little creative world. So he's great. He gets great grades and everything. My oldest, she's good at everything. She plays softball. She's won a couple of titles, but her games are fun. Like when she plays, my kids do travel nonstop since they're like 6 years old. So now that she's 17 and doing her high school, like she was on their varsity team when she was a freshman, and so now she's leading the team when she's in high school and stuff. So it's really good. But now, and my youngest is 13, and I don't know if you said my first wife was is Puerto Rican, so my youngest has that Puerto Rican attitude, and so she's like the troublemaker, and then so she goes in and she just doesn't give a shit, and then she's really good at softball, but she doesn't even try half the time. And so her team just won, a week and a half ago, her championship in travel ball, and I don't think parents, we spend so much time in parking lots or at games and stuff, so I was actually like thrilled that it was over and I can enjoy the summer until my oldest daughter's team took her on and said that she couldn't join them, so now I'm stuck with another softball league, so it's going to keep going for at least another month and a half. So it's like that. I love my kids, but this parking lot stuff or going to games, like 8 o'clock games for softball, I have one, I think Monday, and I just know it's going to be, they just last forever. It's long games. I mean, it's just nonstop. But, I mean, that's what parenthood is when they're all teenagers. It's just going to nonstop events and driving. Like, I cannot wait to just give my daughter a car just so she could drive drive her brother and sister places. So I don't have to, because that's like my dream right now. Is I'm just gonna buy a bigger car and give her money. That's it. That's why they can drive themselves to school and do everything themselves.
Well, sure. I mean, I think that's, every parent's dream until it happens.
Yeah.
At least till it happens, because,
And then you
Say it again, Kegs?
I said, and then you're scared to death when they actually start driving.
There you go. Yeah.
I was horrible when my daughter started driving, but she doesn't. I don't know. I just not the greatest driver. Like I'm gripping my seat when she's driving.
Pedal to the metal and just.
Yeah, are you that dad that from that like little short video or whatever that puts on a seatbelt and then a helmet and then like a fucking like a chest piece and then like starts pulling his seatbelt for everywhere and then
When I'm telling you, I've done probably over 500 cell extractions. Like, that's the scariest thing, because being in the passenger seat, my daughter's driving, and in Chicago. Like, if anyone drives through Chicago, people don't stop.
No.
And so, like, if I drive in Ohio, it's amazing. I can't wait to go back to Ohio. But in Chicago, where she's making, like, a turn onto Cicero or something, fucking, oh my God.
Pedal to the
it's
metal,
horrible.
right? Like, no awareness.
None. I'm just...
Yeah. Well, I have a 13-year-old.
You have a what?
I have a 13-year-old that's getting ready to turn 14. Yeah, and she's smart. She's like actually perfect, like as a parent. But it scares me to this day. And she lives in rural Missouri, so I mean, I can feel that. I mean, in Kegs, you got it coming up soon. Very soon, my man. So.
Yeah, the oldest stepkid. Yeah, she'll be. It won't be long. No, I know, and as we just got the oldest two into karate and jiu-jitsu, and going to that when I'm home is kind of a pain, because like I work like a 60-hour week, travel home, back home, and then like as soon as I get home, it's like quick shower, hop back in the truck, because mine's already locked in the driveway at that point, so I hop back in my truck and go over to practice, and that usually goes for like an hour or two.
Well, plus you're flying, plus now you're doing this, and again, I shout it out every time, but thank you for fucking making time for this. I hope you're not, appropriating the time, and same thing with you, my friend, right? Seriously, I know the softball games are long, but I hope you find some kind of enjoyment,
Oh, I love it. It's just a parent complaining.
I know.
It's a great time, but it's just like sometimes it drags. But you guys, this podcast is awesome. Like out of nowhere. I've known Kegs. We've known each other for like a year and probably never talked. This is crazy.
So,
Not like this anyway. No, I mean we got some Discord DMs or whatever, but yeah, no, we've never really had like a super long conversation or anything, even necessarily. Other than like the USN leadership chats.
Yeah, I don't think anyone understood how to say percussion's name too. I did not know.
I didn't.
let me ask you guys something.
I didn't.
This
It went right over my fucking head. I felt like such a goddamn hick the day that I figured out what it was. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me right now.
I was listening to the podcast. I'm like, really? I thought it was like some Indian name or something.
That's what I thought, dude. And here's the thing, like, I'll take credit for one thing. I really thought that voice inflection would make a huge difference with a lot of not only empathy, but I guess just understanding the person, that there's a person on the other side of the avatar. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate that, but at the same time, I had no idea what I was doing when this kind of popped up, and I still don't. But with Kegs,
You're doing a great job so far.
well, it's not me. It's Kegs, it's Duke, and it's also percussion now. and there's no way.
So somebody needs to ask the harder questions, because I'm not comfortable doing that, and then someone needs to edit shit and be scared with computers, which can like I said, like I say, like almost every time, I'm just a goofy redneck fucker that hops and Mr. Cracks the bad jokes.
He's more than that. He's more than that, and again, I'm not gonna, reach over and play with you, but I'm telling you right now, I couldn't do this, and I almost, just quit last night, and I don't want to talk about that, but what I'll say is, without the people behind the podcast, including people like you that are telling us, please keep going,
Yes, you have to. The must.
I just rolled my ass down to your goddamn red door that you fucking did. What do you call it? DOS? Is that what you call it?
Yeah, it's called
whatever the fuck.
it's short
Whatever the fuck term that is.
It's short for documentation. Basically, it's just saying that people try to expose you and all this stuff, and it happens.
No, I just rolled down to that red door that you mentioned a few times and fucking kicked it off the hinges and smacked shit out of your ass.
I'll put my address on any recording. You won't like what you find if you come here in an inappropriate way. Like, if you want to knock on my door and say, hey, I'm blah, 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 and glad to meet you, you'll get a glass of iced tea in the morning, and you'll get a nightcap at night. But I don't have anything to hide. As far as that goes, I don't.
Other than your massive trophy bar in the basement.
Well, you know what? The only reason I'm able to do this is because duct tape works. So I'm just saying, I need my tools.
It will stay. If it moves, it's sure. I'm telling you, there's the old saying, if it moves, then it's sure. If it doesn't move, then it's sure. Easy blaster, pretty simple kitchens, they're in that particular instance.
But I want to tell you this, it means a lot to all of us to hear you say that. And again, my biggest thing is we need people. It's not even that, dude. Like, if people really do enjoy this, please do me a favor and subscribe to Spotify. And we're gonna open up different. We're gonna try to basically put on in like more apps, like Apple, iTunes, that kind of thing. But the thing is like, it's not about the numbers. It's not about. I promise you, we're getting paid nothing. It's not about that. It's just, it is a nice reminder. I couldn't quit on these other three guys if I wanted to, guys, including Perk, because she's a homie.
There you go.
I don't.
Well, I mean, I have a term for you for that we used to use in high school in Perk, and when you listen to this, you feel that it's not being humane. But we used to call all the girls that were the tomboys that hung out with us back in high school, we used to call them vagina bros.
That's cool. If she's cool with it, I'm cool with it. Yeah, 100%. And honestly, she's.
That's what we used to call them.
Well, and let me explore. Let me tell people this, and I'll do it in the recording. By the way, I'm not editing this in any way. There's not going to be memes and all the flashy shit. It doesn't. This conversation doesn't need it. I just, all three of the people that helped me with this, at one point in time, have had to kind of check on me. And again, this was started kind of on a whim, and I thought, okay, I can control it. I can do what I want. I just didn't expect the engagement of people, and I'm probably the weakest point in this entire fucking experiment. And I mean that. People can say, oh, wait.
Are we talking mentally or physically?
Both, probably. Because I know how big Duke is. I know how big you are. And I know how big I am. And then, Perk, she doesn't need to fucking be big. She's so charming that, it doesn't matter. She's like a superpower.
She would come up and knock you out with a sea hook.
Yeah, she would just come and say, hey, you need to calm down, and I'm done. I'll probably pass out and soft kitty warm.
Yeah, just saying, thanks for the give you a look.
Yep. And she's a class act, dude, for real.
Oh, dude, for first grade. I did want to interject something, though, and get it back on track real quick, and then I have a thought not too long ago. Rifle Bro, you said you've been on for almost, what's it been, 23 years? I'm at? Quick, 23?
No, I'm on 16, so I got 14 years left.
16. Excuse me, yes. Wow, that was really bad math on my part. Thank God that was never my strong point in school.
Perk is right now. Perk right now.
You gotta be able to...
Perk right now is fucking smoke's coming out of her ears right now.
Probably. I know, it's not 4-4 today, Perk, I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm more like a 12 E in my head. But, moving on.
It'll buff.
Enough turtle wax, all of us.
Yep.
But, yeah, I mean, you gotta be getting close to like some kind of a promotion to desk promoter. How's it like? Question here.
No, so we have bids, and with my seniority, and especially like kind of just, I don't want to say I've done enough for now, but with like my meds and stuff, there's coming a point where it was last year where I was kind of like, I felt it going off a little. Even my wife was like, hey, how's the therapy going? Because you seem different. So I ended up putting myself, right now for some reason, it's pretty stressful, but I'm at desk. I put myself on desk duty, and now I'm doing like payroll and rosters and lunches and a million different reports constantly. Somehow, like, we have all these civilians, and it's always the same report, but in different formats. And so I'm pretty good at computers and doing reports. So, like, that's with 16 years, like, I'm looking at maybe a couple more years of just biding my time, and then when my youngest is old enough and either goes to college or decides what she's doing, I don't know, I may just leave and transfer out. Allow us to go to Florida. They have a pretty good transfer system. If the pensions don't line up, then I'll stay, but I'm taking it easy. I'll let the rookies get all the hits on the head. I had 4 concussions in 1 year. You know, it was.
Jesus Christ, bro.
There's been a couple times where like I've totally blacked out, and I had to watch the body cam where I was going through the muscle motions of like the muscle memory of like handcuffing someone and getting them to decontamination because someone sprayed or something. Like, I've been through a lot of fights, and my body is pretty weak and down at this point.
Can I say something to you real quick? Because concussions came up. I've had a few, and this isn't about me, but what I want to say is, there's been times where I've woken up not knowing where I am, and I'm aware of CTE. There's been more than one time, like literally, I'll wake up in my own bed, and it's a split second. Well, it seems like it, and I have no idea where I am. Have you ever had that?
No, I've never had.
Good.
Mine's more. It's weird. Like, I don't realize it's happening. Like, someone have to point it out to me. I'm just not there sometimes, and I have to literally, like, for me, when you see me working, I have to make a list of things I have to get done through the day, because when something else happens that catches my attention, or someone's going off on the radio, or there's some kind of emergency or something, like, I will totally forget whatever I was doing. Like, it will be gone.
It mimics early onset Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
It really
And
does.
I'm telling you, I have to make a list of everything I do.
Yeah.
I will not remember anything. And I'm just aware of my own injuries. Like, a lot of people just deny stuff and decide not to seek help.
Right.
I have a psychologist, a psychiatrist. I go everywhere. Anything that has to do with me and my body, I'm going to the doctor. I want to be able, with law enforcement, especially like correctional officers, with our age that we usually die is like, what, 55 to 57? I don't want to do that. I want to be able, like I said, my sponsor retired 3 months ago at the age of 50 because he worked in the clerk's office before the sheriff's department. And he just passed.
I'm sorry.
And this was
so sorry.
3 weeks ago.
I'm so sorry.
And yeah, I everyone knows what that guy was to me.
Well, that's
That's
what
the
I'm
guy
saying.
that drove me to my meetings.
That's what I'm trying to tell you is that you're not done grieving, surely, and it's okay.
No, he was, I didn't, like, my whole thing was when I got to that job that day, what if something were to happen to me? Like, he was my rock, it's really weird, but he was my rock. He was the one that saved my life. And when I went to his funeral, I told his dad that, and his dad said, I don't know how many times people have told me that today. And that guy, I want to be ahead of anything that's wrong with me, so I intentionally put myself at destiny.
Let me tell you something.
I'm trying to...
I want to tell you something seriously, and this is, recorded, who cares, but I hope it is. From everybody, all four of us here, if you ever need somebody to reach out to just to talk, especially Kegs would probably understand. I'm just saying, you have 4 people, and probably many more after this. Please, just hit somebody up if you're bored.
Well, that means a lot. The same thing, what I told you I do, whenever someone needs help, it means a lot when people understand what you're going through, Yeah. Someone that's been there.
Yeah.
Someone that's been at rock bottom.
Kegs probably has more experience with both subjects rather than I do. I mean, I've never been a cop. I've never been a correctional, he has more experience with the same, I guess, path that you guys have taken, but it doesn't mean...
Yeah, dude, no, if you ever need to talk with someone, like you said, feel free to reach out to me. My paths are not that different, right? I decided to get out of it because I finally realized what it was doing to me mentally. I worked so many hours. I spent 60 hours every day for about almost 2.5 years inside home office. And I worked at Mags. I got demoted to the Longform, level 2 facility, but we had all the same inmates. It was just a shit show. And I was having the smoke.
The smoke. No one understands the smoke.
Well, dude, when you're locked down and shit like that, it affects you. I don't care what kind of mental state you have. It affects you. And for me, I couldn't show no work. That disinterest in the hard thing because we had a big old familiarity clause in our stuff, and you're familiar. It was a big problem. Because that's when people got hooked. That's when people got celebration facility and all that other shit. And I was very rigid with myself to not allow that. So I was a very, very strict, uptight kind of guy when I was at Smith's, and I couldn't shut that off. It got to the point where I was tripping one day, and I forget a dude bumped into me, and that doesn't happen by accident when you're in civil office. If he bumps into you, that's basically labeled as an assault, and that's what to touch you.
That's right, man.
Well, exactly. It was just a habit, or whatever your instinct, whatever you want to call it. I just did it right to the ground. And I had my knee up, I had his hands behind his back, I had my knee up on him. I was like pulling out my belt where I kept my gun case that hurt. Trying to freaking us. It dawned on me, this is the store, this isn't inside a unit. And I looked around, people are staring at me weird, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I looked down, I'm like, holy shit, this guy isn't in blues. And that's what really, I was like, oh shit, I helped him out, I went to try, I'm very security, blah, blah, he's like, are you law enforcement or something? That was textbook. And it turned out that he had been a state trooper for a bunch of years, so he kind of got it. And he was, let me tell you something, kid, you need to lay off the overtime.
Yeah.
He's like, I know the mandate.
The thing is just the shit that you two have been through trying to, serve the community. Imagine what it takes to become the next level, and then the next level. I mean, just hearing.
And there's no appreciation for people who like rifle start out in the jail. There's nothing for guys that do state level corrections, and nothing for guys that federal level corrections, and nothing for guys that do military corrections. You know, they're
It breaks my heart.
I don't want to say, I don't know how to word it properly myself necessarily, without explaining, I guess it'd be like, I don't know, I can't.
You know what's a funny thing that I put together a while ago? Don't make fun of me. So Harry Potter.
I'll never make
Do you know what the jail guards are in Harry Potter?
Yeah.
That's how we're looked at as the mentors.
Yeah, they're the guys that are kind of like,
You're sucking the soul out of people. That's how we're looked at when you work corrections. Like, that's the jail guards. They're the mentors. Like, I actually did.
no, I mean that fits. That fits.
Yeah.
It's funny hearing a guy with 22-inch arms or more. I don't even fucking know. Mention Harry Potter. It's just fucking hilarious. You know, and again, it just goes to show you, don't fucking judge people by the cover, you know. And the fact that you fucking care so much for the people you're supposed to be, I don't know, I guess, on a different side, let's say, because I understand.
It's one mistake to be wearing browns. Like, it takes one mistake.
Exactly.
The crazy part, like, that, I mean, I know we're going over time, but...
No, don't worry about the time. This is a conversation.
So, just one more thing about, like, working at kids, like, I don't think people understand. So, if somebody is, like, homeless and they're not doing medication and they get caught for trespassing, okay? This is our court system at work. And they're found unfit to see the judge or to get a trial. Like, these are guys that have a $500,000 bond. Like, it's nothing, right? For anyone else to pay. But they're stuck. And now they can't even go to court to be released or get probation. They have to stay with us until they're back medicated. And so guys with, like, bullshit cases are there for, like, 8 months. And it's insane. Like, we have guys that are habitual armed criminals. They get released with gun charges. We have rapists released. But basic mental health in all big cities or anywhere, really.
Anywhere.
Like, they need to put money back into that.
Yeah, I agree. I think most of America, I didn't say most of America understands. That's the thing. Most of America would agree if they understood the circumstances, and that's why you were such a big personal interview for me, because of what you were willing to talk about. And let me ask you this: Is there anything that you want to talk about right now, like where we don't have to ask you a question? Is there anything besides the mental health aspect? Let me ask you this: is if there was something that you could tell your governors or your mayor, you know, the leaders of your community, what would it be?
Like, for the county, for instance, when I first started a job, we had 3 directors. Okay, one in charge of security, one in charge, you know, it's whatever, chief of staff.
Get a little bit closer to your mic, bud. Sorry.
Like, we only had 3 directors when I first started. Now we have over 200. Okay, all that money is going to people and family and friends and people with jobs. When, like, I don't mind being in a city paying higher taxes if it's going to the right things. And when I was a kid in the 90s, our governor closed down most of our mental health institutions. So right now, Cook County Jail, on that acute psych unit, is the largest mental health facility in the country. And for that to be the place to go to get help is the worst place. Like, yeah, we are. The crazy thing is, when people realize what we do, then it's like, okay, it's not jail, but it is jail because they're not with their families. They don't have any support. Like, they're only limited in what they can do. So it's just weird. Like, when when we get somebody and the family, like I work hand in hand with a lot of families. They come to visit these guys, and I talk with how they're doing to them. You know, like I'm part of the nursing staff because I want to assure them of what this guy's doing and how we're being treated, and or what the treatment is and what we do as goals every day. And it was insane because they can't afford to put them in any private place, or there's no real anywhere else to go. So that was my main thing. Like, if there's one thing that can change, it'd be I would love to pay higher taxes if it went to actual real places. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Okay, exactly.
That's like my pet peeve of most places. Like, there's a lot of people walking around with issues. Like, another thing, like vets.
Of course.
Vets at home. I mean, we get vets all the time, and it's just. I just wish there was more places for people to go, like actual treatment facilities.
Yeah, it's ridiculous to me that we give all this stuff to like third world countries. I'm not saying they're not deserving of help, but we need to take care of Americans first. In my opinion, it's absolutely ridiculous that we have homeless vets. That's what, you know.
I couldn't agree more.
Medical needs from country and keeping people from staying, all other amazing things that they do and sacrifice, and they're just saying all their homes and a piece of trash, and it infuriates me beyond words. And it's absolutely just it's ridiculous.
Well,
it's flat ridiculous.
We want to have you back on, bro, but before we let you go, okay? Did you enjoy your time here? Like, was it as intimidating as it sounded at first?
Okay, well, I've done talks in front of places like AA meetings, but I've never done a podcast, so I was a little bit nervous. But like I said, I feel at home when I'm more nervous. So it was, but you guys, like I said, keeping the talk going, and you guys do a great job. Like, for people that just started out, you guys are pretty good. I listen to a lot of podcasts. You guys are pretty damn good. So just keep on what you're doing. And just know, I'm listening to every episode because I do nothing but podcasts.
Well, we appreciate that. That's awesome, man. Thank you.
100%. But just do me a favor. Maybe share this around where you can, you know, without, you know, any embarrassment kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I understand what it's like to try to share it with your coworkers, but trust me.
No, like I said, everyone knows where I come from when it comes to my coworkers because I try to help as many people. I mean, send it
to the patients as well, please. Like, because I think them hearing this side of you could only help.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But go ahead.
When like I said, when these guys are on medication, like I said, some of the nicest guys and just in a rough spot, you know. So yeah, of course.
Even if they're off their medication, maybe just your voice would be enough.
Oh, when they're off their medication, and you're looking reasoning here, and there's a lot of times when, especially when they're self-medicated, they just come into the jail. There's a lot of guys that just don't feel pain, man.
I get it.
It's a pretty rough one.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Like I said, I have a lot of concussions.
I want to have you back on again, 100%. And I hope you're willing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, awesome. But before we let you go, right? Let me ask you this: is there anything you want to? Any saying that you want to shout out before we end it, basically?
I guess I'd say happy retirement to Dr. Chips because we're all going to be participating in that war. Like I said, we're doing great in USN. I don't know why we're just having fun with it. I know Dookie came back. He disappeared. We all thought he was dead for a while. He came back.
Welcome back from
like,
fucking grave,
yeah, I was like, just disappeared. I mean, everyone that just came out of the woodworks after we're done with these like 3 million point wars. Like, this is crazy, like throwing money at this game. But you know what? You have to appreciate the game because it brought us all together. Like, 100%. And we would all be talking to each other and meeting all these guys, and it's just fantastic.
I'll never ask for a refund because of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I didn't even know what Discord was. I had to have my kids download when they first got into the game.
It was a scam. I'm not even gonna lie. When I got recruited into NAR and USN, and they're like, yeah, download Discord, like, and come hang out, blah blah. And I'm like, dude, this league looks like a scam league for me. I didn't do this for you. And finally, yeah, I can't remember who it was exactly. It might have been Kyle. That was like, dude, just download the damn thing and come fucking chat. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm gonna get hacked. But alright, whatever. And then I got into it. Yes, the man, the myth, the legend, the great king himself.
We're gonna get him back. I don't know how, but we're gonna get him back.
Well, I mean, I can DM you his personal cell number. You can call him.
Yeah, probably. Well, I don't know.
I still have him.
In our command chat, he's talked about coming back just for like here and there. Because what was it? I know Wrangler came back, and that's when we made the new USN one. And I don't know, it's just a lot of people came back. Vaughn is still on. That guy's just
Vaughn is amazing. Vaughn is amazing. I know him throughout the game.
He's a cool dude.
He's always been amazing to me.
And honestly, I mean, Wrangler is a really cool dude once you can understand him. Wrangler's good shit. Honestly, I never had a problem necessarily. Once we talked and understood each other, you know what I mean? He comes off a little short. Well, once you understand the guy, he's actually a really, really cool dude.
I mentioned this in our command chat the other, I think it was yesterday. Like, when he says something, I just want to joke around about it. Like, I have to put it in the just because before it was what Mio and me were just making fun of shit half the time. So now I'm the XO of USN. When Wrangler says something serious, I feel like the teacher just came into the room. And I'm like, oh, we gotta do something.
Well, and again, Mio reached out to us. Mio did reach out to us at a point, and the deal is we're so overbooked because we didn't expect all this. So again, all these people that are waiting, it's gonna happen. We just need a little bit of time because again, we're not going anywhere.
Be patient with us. We're virgins.
Yeah, we really are. And I might release this in 2 parts actually. That's something I might do because again, we want to have you back, dude. But I just want to make sure that everybody understands that we've been blessed by Rifle coming on to begin with. So, but with that being said, I'm cool.